All right, let's dive into one of the great Norse sagas, Sigurd and Fafnir. Now, you've probably heard of heroes and dragons, right? Well, this story has all of that. But if you look a little closer, it's actually a super dark tale about greed, ambition, and what happens when betrayal takes over. Wow. I mean, when the betrayals are more intense than Dragonfire, you know you're in for a ride. And that's the thing, right? This isn't just some old fantasy tale. It's like holding up a dark mirror to the worst parts of human nature. So let's get into it. We're going to peel back all the layers of betrayal that really drive this thing from the very beginning all the way to its tragic end. Okay, so first up, the curse of gold. This is where it all begins. You know, a tragedy this big, it doesn't just kick off with a huge battle. Nope. It starts with something much smaller, a temptation. And, like so many of these epic stories, it all boils down to one single incredibly corrupting object, a pile of cursed gold. So, how does this curse even start? Well, it's a real domino effect. It all kicks off with a ransom. A king named Hroydmar demands a payment. And you know who steps in to solve the problem? The trickster god, Loki, of course. His solution? He just goes and steals an entire treasure hoard from a dwarf named Andvari. But Andvari is not about to let his treasure go quietly. Oh no. He slaps a powerful curse on all of it, guaranteeing that it's going to bring nothing but ruin and death to anyone who owns it. And boom, just like that, the poison is out there in the world. All right, next up, Fafnir's transformation. And believe me, the curse gets to work fast. It doesn't waste any time claiming its first victims. The second King Hreidmar gets his hands on that gold, his own sons, Fafnir and Regin, are just completely consumed by greed. It sets the stage for the very first and maybe most shocking betrayal in this whole story. I mean, just look at this change. It's absolutely insane. On the one hand, you have Fafnir the dwarf. He's a brother, a son, a person. But that ambition, supercharged by the cursed gold, it just twists him into something unrecognizable. He ends up murdering his own father to get that treasure. His spirit becomes so monstrous, so ugly, that his body literally changes to match. He becomes a dragon. And this is the really tragic part, the irony of it all. Fafnir got exactly what he wanted. He has all the gold. But what does he do? To protect it, he just shuts himself off from the entire world. He becomes a hermit, guarding this pile of metal, until the very thing he killed for. It's basically his tomb. He has everything, which means he really has nothing at all. So now we get to the mastermind's plan. Rajan's part in all this. See, Fafnir wasn't the only brother twisted by that gold. Rajan got cheated out of his share, and he never forgot it. And while Fafnir turned into this monster of brute force, Rajan became a different kind of monster, one of pure cunning. He starts putting together this long, cold, very calculated plan to get his revenge. So, this is where our hero comes in, a young, strong guy named Sigurd. And you know the trope, right? Every hero needs a mentor, and Sigurd finds one, a master blacksmith who's going to help him become a legend. And wouldn't you know it, that blacksmith is Regin. Yeah, but what if that mentor, the guy you're supposed to trust, is actually the real villain? This is where the story just gets so much darker. Regin isn't helping Sigurd because he's a good guy. Not at all. He's a puppet master, and he's carefully crafting the perfect weapon, Sigurd, to go get the gold that he thinks is his. And Regin's plan is brilliant in a really evil way. He plays the long game. He grooms Sigurd from a young age, filling his head with all these stories about glory and honor. He forges the legendary sword Grom because he knows it's the only thing that can kill the dragon. Literally every single piece of advice, every story he tells, every move he makes, it's all one calculated step in his master plan. A plan that, by the way, ends with Sigurd dead and Regin walking away with all the cursed gold. So now we get to the moment of truth. The stage is totally set for this epic showdown. You've got Sigurd, our heroic pawn, marching off to fight a monster dragon. And he has absolutely no idea that the real threat, the biggest danger to him, is the guy he trusts most, his mentor. And at first, Regin's plan works like a charm. It's flawless. Sigurd does exactly what his mentor told him to do. He digs a pit, waits for the dragon, and strikes Fafnir from his soft underbelly. The great dragon falls. The hero has won. It seems like the quest is over, right? But then, something completely random happens. Regin asks Sigurd to roast the dragon's heart for him. While he's doing it, Sigurd burns his thumb on the hot blood and, instinctively sticks it in his mouth to cool it off. And in that one moment, a single drop of Fafnir's magical blood gives him this wild new power. He can suddenly understand what birds are saying. And what he hears is just chilling. The birds in the trees above him aren't just chirping. They're spilling the beans on Regin's entire plot. They're like, hey, that guy, Regin, he's about to betray you. He's going to kill you for the gold. You have to strike first, or you're next. Their advice is simple, and it is brutal. Kill Regin now, or you're a dead man. So what can he do? Sigurd is forced to act. The hero who just took down a massive dragon now has to turn that same sword on the man who was basically his father figure. And this isn't about greed for him, not at all. It's a horrible, tragic act of self-preservation. It's the final bloody domino to fall because of Regin's own treachery. All right, so let's talk about the consequences. This lingering shadow. Fafnir's dead, Regin's dead. You'd think, okay, story's over, right? The bad guys are gone. But the curse on that gold, it doesn't just go away. Its dark influence is still very much alive. Because now, Sigurd, our hero, does what the birds told him to do and takes the dragon's hoard for himself. And just like that, he is the new owner of the cursed gold. Without even realizing it, he's just inherited the exact same poison that tore that family apart. You can really see the whole chain reaction here, can't you? It's like one big, tragic ripple effect. It all starts with Loki's theft. That leads directly to Fafnir betraying his own father. That, in turn, causes Regin to betray Sigurd. And now Sigurd has the gold, and the curse just keeps rippling outward, setting up his own tragic story with Brunhild down the line. It just shows how one betrayal always leads to another. And that kind of leaves us with one final big question to think about. The saga says the gold is cursed, sure, but what if the gold itself is just an object? What if it's not really about the gold at all? Maybe the real curse is the greed that's already inside of us. You know that ugly part of human nature just lying dormant, waiting for an excuse to come out?